Jet fighters, Guinness, submarines, canoes, a dragon with a fake fishing boat, censures, torture, unpeeled onions. This is the Undercurrent. Australia's current government is 18 months old, and its performance thus far has been what you would expect from an infant. Finding it a challenge to put one foot in front of the other, struggling to form coherent sentences, and generally being afraid of shitting their pants in public. And it's been a checkered year or so for government defence spending. We plopped down $12 billion for 58 F-35 Joint Strike Fighters, a $214 million plane that can't turn, can't climb, can't run, and is so faulty and over budget that two of the partner countries that built the plane are considering cancelling their orders. Not us though, we love dodgy planes, especially when that $12 billion could have bought us 10 hospitals, or 857 schools, or 600,000 university degrees, or 1.1 billion pints of Guinness, which might have helped some of us forget a particularly creepy St. Patrick's Day message.
It's good to be green.
And if you thought $12 billion for sketchy fighter jets was bad, try $25 billion for submarines. Our current subs are a quarter of a century old, and of the original fleet of 6, only 2 are still fit for service. Replacement subs were due to be built in South Australia, but the government had some concerns.
You wonder why I wouldn't trust them to build a canoe, right?
Then Prime Minister Tony Abbott faced a leadership challenge and needed support from South Australian backbenchers to survive. So plans to send the contract to Japan became plans for a tender process. Although newly minted Defence Minister Kevin Andrews doesn't like the word tender.
What we are doing is a competitive evaluation process.
Defence says that they've never heard that term before.
I'm not going to get into all sorts of definitions and what's a definition and what of that is.
A yes or no, is it a tender process or not?
Sorry, I will use the words I choose to use.
Damn, we've got skills when it comes to buying boats. Until recently, when asylum seekers reached our shores, we would reward their treacherous and life-threatening journey by loading them immediately back onto $46,000 single-use bright orange lifeboats, tow them back into Indonesian waters and leave them there. Our Indonesian neighbours were less than stoked with this. So the government thought they'd go for something a little more subtle than high-vis orange and commissioned a secretive multi-million-dollar contract with a Hong Kong company to construct boats that looked like Vietnamese fishing vessels. In the latest round of Coalition Ministry musical chairs, least popular health minister of the last 35 years, Peter Dutton, found himself on the rough end of the pineapple, the immigration portfolio. And here's what his spokesperson had to say about the fake Vietnamese fishing vessels. Customs and Border Protection uses a variety of vessels to prepare for and perform its maritime tasks. Unfortunately, the government's mad skills in immigration are receiving mixed reviews, with the Australian Human Rights Commission handing down a long-awaited report finding that treatment of children in detention centres amounts to child abuse. That led to revelations that embattled Attorney General and Muppet balcony critic George Brandis attempted to relocate the Commission President after receiving an advance copy of the report. That little political chess move earned Brandis a Senate censure, which is basically a really official, on-the-record way of telling somebody you think they're shit. And despite the complete independence of the Human Rights Commission, the Prime Minister called their findings a political stitch-up, continuing his penchant for antiquated bogan colloquialisms. But it starts to get a bit hard to claim that you're the victim when the UN, a vacillating organisation that finds it difficult to commit to a non-binding resolution on soft cheese imports, comes out and accuses you of torture. UN's Special Rapporteur on Torture, Juan Mendez, was all like, "Excuse me, Australia? Please, don't torture the children." And we were all like, "Oh, shut up, Juan, stop lecturing us. We just want to do a little bit of torture, okay?" And this has all been taking its toll on Big Tone. You can tell he really wants to cry, but it's hard for a lizard-skinned slogan robot. Even taking a bite out of an unpeeled onion couldn't break through that puzzled humanoid facade. So, in the face of below-average polls, backlash from most of professional Australia, and the wrath of the entire internet, the coalition government ploughs ahead with their bizarro Robin Hood mandate of stealing from the poor to give to the donors. Meanwhile, the Labor Party caught up on some Sudoku, levelled up in Candy Crush, and brushed up on their camouflage training to avoid those pesky questions like, "Do you have any policies?" Or, "What are you all doing with your lives?" Or the risk that people might remember that detention centre thing was their policy in the first place. That's it for this Undercurrent update. Oh, and by the way, political donors, we're coming for you.